The Fable's fifth episode opens with Takeshi and Kuro meeting. Takeshi is informed by Kuro that Hiroshi would like to talk to him in his office. Hiroshi is aware of Takeshi's Fable manipulation. Takeshi says he wanted to test Fable and apologizes for what he did. There might be others in Fable's group who are similar to him, Hiroshi tells Takeshi, grinning. In addition, Hiroshi claims that Fable's group would have come for Takeshi, Hiroshi, and Kuro if Takeshi had shot Fable. Hiroshi wishes Takeshi and Kojima, Takeshi's pal, all the best. Takahashi leaves after saying he's sorry to Yoko for spending the night. Takahashi and Takeshi meet later. Takahashi apologizes for being inebriated on the date and says he will obtain information about Fable the next time. Takeshi informs Takahashi that they will no longer be keeping an eye on Fable or Yoko. Takeshi prefers Takahashi to help Kuro with his job instead. Kuro says he's sorry for telling Hiroshi everything, and Takeshi agrees. After that, Takahashi and Kuro go to the bridge that Fable leaped off of in a previous episode. Kuro is aware of Fable's identity but is reluctant to inform Takahashi. According to Takahashi, Fable is a skilled gymnast. Kuro, however, jumps off the same bridge and is thrilled that Fable is the genuine deal. We watch Takeshi preparing a beautiful kombu dish while Fable informs Yoko about his new job search. Then Takahashi tells Takeshi about Kuro's absurd antics. Takeshi shows up at the hospital to welcome Kuro and Takahashi. Kuro is taken somewhere by Takeshi, where he is questioned. He wonders if Kuro's intention in pulling that prank was to follow in Fable's footsteps and become a hitman. Kuro gets a face grab from Takeshi, who tells him that he should give up trying to be Fable. Fable attends an interview and completes a resume form in his room in the interim. Sadly, the interviewer doesn't think highly of Fable's answers, so Fable departs to finish the interview somewhere else. It doesn't go well at this new interview either. Misaki eventually runs into Fable and discovers he is carrying a resume. Fable states that he is looking for work and that he will be going to an interview with Hayashi, a florist. Misaki informs Fable that although she can show him the way, he must sprint with her in order to avoid being late. While they jog, Misaki gets to know Fable better. She notices that Fable used to be a delivery driver after taking another look at his credentials. She claims that her employer would be happy to have him. Fable pays her boss a visit at work with Misaki. Misaki persuades her supervisor to speak with Fable. Fable goes through his credentials with Misaki's supervisor. He also tells Fable specifics about the kind of work they perform here. In addition, Misaki's supervisor informs Fable of his expected salary. He says he'll consider giving Fable a raise if Fable is capable of doing tasks other than delivery labor. After Misaki gives Fable some tea, Fable informs her boss that he'll take the job. Takahashi and Kuro discuss their current COD scam mission in the meantime. Kuro then asks Takahashi about his opinions on professional hitmen. Takahashi contends that pro hitmen are non-existent in Japan, so he's not sure what to say. Kuro then declares his desire to lead an opulent, wealthy life and assures Takahashi that he will make his imprint on the world. Then, Fable gives Takeshi a call to let him know about his new delivery position at Misaki's place of employment. The fact that Fable spoke with Misaki infuriated Takeshi. Takeshi demands that Fable leave Misaki's workplace and promises to get him a new position. Fable cuts the call after refusing. He tells Yoko about his new work when he sees her later. Yoko finds it hard to believe that Fable would take a low-paying job. We also find out that Yoko gave her hamster the name Hey. Yoko then raises the possibility that Fable might fall in love with Misaki. About that, Fable isn't sure. He claims, nonetheless, that trying to fall in love with Misaki is fine. Later, Fable surprises his supervisor by showing up early for work. Takeshi pays Kojima a visit elsewhere. Kojima tells Takeshi that he can't wait to let go as the show comes to an end. The review of the episode. Our admirable hitman finds a job, which is one of the hardest jobs he has yet to tackle, after having a nice conversation with Takeshi in episode 3. By the end of this chapter, Fable has managed to secure one, but it is not as lucrative as his homicidal one. However, fans will be glad to see Fable fall short of the interviewer's expectations in this chapter. They conveyed the atmosphere people experience during such interviews by being shameless in their mockery of Fable's birthday and interests. Furthermore, Misaki and Fable are compelled to communicate with one another in this episode. Even while Misaki's persona isn't explored in great detail in this instance, it was nonetheless interesting to see her offer Fable assistance with her boss. If a relationship develops between Fable and Misaki, we hope the creator of the series would heed Yoko's advice and give their romance a genuine sense. Conversely, this episode suggests that Fable is making allies and enemies. Aside from Kojima's scary comments and Kuro's funny antics, Fable may find that his regular life goal is more difficult than he anticipates. Even though this episode wasn't particularly good, it at least leaves viewers with something to think about until the next one airs.